Evaluate reverse Polish notation. You get a list of tokens like 2, 1, plus 3 times, and you have to compute what it evaluates to. There are no parentheses anywhere, and there are no precedence rules to remember. That is not a missing feature. That is the entire point of this notation, and it is why a single stock is enough to evaluate it. First, what is reverse Polish notation? You already know infix. That is ordinary maths where the operator sits between its two operands, 2 plus 1. Postfix moves the operator after its operands instead, 2, 1 plus. Same numbers, same operation, but the operator comes last. It reads strangely to a human and beautifully to a machine. Here's what that buys you. In infix, you cannot read left to right and evaluate as you go. You have to look ahead because times binds tighter than plus, and parentheses can override both. Postfix deletes that whole problem. The order the operators appear in is exactly the order you apply them. No precedence, no brackets, no ambiguity, ever. So the whole algorithm collapses into one rule, and you should hold on to this sentence. Walk the tokens left to right. If the token is a number, push it. If the token is an operator, pop the top two values, combine them, and push the result back. When the tokens run out, the one value left on the stock is your answer. Let's run it. The tokens are 2, 1, plus 3 times. We start with an empty stock. The first token is 2. It is a number, so it goes straight on the stock. The next token is 1, also a number, so it goes on top. Nothing clever has happened yet, and nothing needs to. Now we hit plus. That is an operator, so we stop pushing and start combining. Pop the top value, 1. Pop the next value, 2. Add them to get 3, and push that 3 straight back onto the stock. Look at what just happened. 2 values went away, 1 came back. The stock shrank by exactly 1, and it now holds the value of the sub-expression we just finished. The next token is 3, a number, so it just gets pushed. The stock is now 3 and 3, and notice we never had to remember that the plus came before the times, or that anything needed brackets around it. The order of the tokens already encoded all of that. Last token, times. Pop 3, multiply to get 9, push it back. The tokens are exhausted, and exactly one value is sitting on the stock, 9. That is the answer, and that is the entire problem. Now the first trap, and it is the one that fails most submissions. Plus and times do not care which order you pop in because they are commutative. Minus and divide care enormously. When you pop, the first value off the stock is the right-hand operand, and the second value off is the left-hand one. So for minus, you must compute the second popped minus the first popped. Get that backwards and you will pass the addition tests and fail everything else. The second trap is division. This problem asks for truncation towards 0, which is not the same thing as flooring. 13 divided by 5 is 2 either way, but -7 divided by 2 truncates to -3, while flooring would give you -4. In Python, the double-slash operator floors, so you cannot use it here. Use int of a divided by b, which truncates towards 0, and the negative cases pass.
In code, it is about 8 lines. Keep a set of the 4 operators, walk the tokens. If the token is not an operator, convert it to an integer and push it. Otherwise, pop b, then pop a, apply the operation, and push the result. Note the order there, b first, then a. At the end, return the single value left on the stock. The complexity is as good as it gets. Every token is looked at exactly once, and each one causes at most a constant amount of stock work, so the time is order n. The stock holds at most the operands you have not combined yet, which for a valid expression is bounded by n, so the space is also order n. So 3 things to take away. Postfix puts the operator after its operands, which removes precedence and parentheses entirely. A stock evaluates it in one left-to-right pass. Push numbers, and on an operator, pop 2 and push the combined result. And watch the 2 traps, pop order for minus and divide, and truncation towards 0 rather than flooring. That's evaluate reverse Polish notation. Once you see that the notation itself carries the order of operations, the stock is the only tool you need. For diagrams and practice notes, head to unroot.com. This is Unroot. Understand it, don't memorize it.